What is up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of It's Called Football. Jerry Walker and Jason Garcia here today to talk the Euro final. We just did the two semifinals. We'll start out recapping what happened in those two matches: Spain versus France, England versus the Netherlands. Two exciting games, two very nervy games for all four teams involved. A lot of great goals scored, a couple interesting calls. Then we'll get into our preview for the final, do what we think each team needs to do to win, give our prediction at the end. So we'll get going. But before we do, Jason, how are you doing on this Thursday afternoon?
I'm doing perfectly fine. The matches on Tuesday and Wednesday were magnificent. High action, quality football, and I'm just hoping the finals and the third place matches, I guess, produces what we've been waiting for in the finals.
Absolutely. And I will say, Euros does not do a third place match. They've kind of decided that
They
it's the most meaningless game. Yeah, it's one of those weird things. They did a few years ago, but don't know when it stopped. But we have that.
got it.
But hopping into it, Spain and France. And oh my God, what a game that was from the get go. Just pure footballing excellence. Two amazingly good teams. And France opened the scoring 9 minutes in. Kolo Muani, he finally got his goal. And it seemed like that was something that both you and Jackson mentioned last week of a player you want to see playing more, maybe getting the start over Marcus Thurman. And sure enough, he did. 9 minutes in, rose up, headed the ball in off a cross from a maskless Kylian Mbappe. What did you think of that goal? What did you think of the start France had? Because that's their only goal from open play all tournament.
That's what we were worried about because I remember last week we were talking about no open play goals, from the pen, and own goals. So I'm like, we discussing like if France continues to like just squeeze on through without their own open play goals, we wouldn't think they would have done it. No, but they did in the 9th minute. Uh, we got an assist from Mbappe, and they did it early. So that was a strong start for France. Again, they were playing Spain, another high quality team. Um, and Maskless Mbappe, I guess I'm not sure if he's breathing fine because I know with a broken nose, obviously you're gonna have the respiratory problems. But with Mbappe, maskless, he seems like he was fine. He seemed like his old self,
Mhm.
fortunately. And again, we mentioned last week about Spain. Um, Lamine Yamal, wonderful kid. At 16 years old, I think he turned 17 in a couple days. They kept mentioning it during the broadcast. He was just a
Yeah.
few days away. Wonderful goal from outside the box. Wonderful, hit the post, bounce right in. And we also mentioned Spain losing Pedri. Would it really affect Spain? Danny Olmo was his replacement. Danny Olmo, he got a well, I guess it's classified as an own goal, but he got the shot off. Beautiful. They tried to clear it. He tipped it, went over it, shot it. That was just a beautiful goal. And we mentioned Danny Olmo would be a good replacement for Spain with the loss of Pedri. But again, uh, it was a very high action first half. Second half kind of fell down, but you can tell there was the urgency for France. But unfortunately, they weren't able to get it. But that was a high quality game, regardless.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that goal from Lamine Yamal, absolutely beautiful. Curls it with his left foot, just right into the top corner, as you said, banked off the post and went in. No goalkeeper in the world is saving that shot, and officially became the youngest player to score at the Euros. 16, and I think they said his birthday's Saturday, so 16 in just 5 days or 4 days shy of that. Incredible. And then Danny Olmo, the skill he had. It ultimately, I thought it was also an own goal. I was just looking now. It ended up being given to him, so that was his third goal of the tournament. Still tied first in the Golden Boot race. But what a skill! Like, kind of chip it up to yourself, get around, play it in, and whether or not it was should have been an own goal or what, he made the defender play in a very bad position, and it found the back of the net. Superb performance from
Yeah.
Spain. And then the second half, like you said, not as exciting. France had the urgency. Spain looked like the veteran team that we've seen them be in the past. I know it's a younger side this time, but they just played the ball around, making it impossible for France to really get anything going. They kind of just ruined the tempo, slowed it down completely, and did what we've seen Spain do in the past: grind out a win and look pretty damn good doing it. How good do you think Lamine Yamal is? Like, do you think that? I think this is just the beginning of it's going to be an insane career.
Yeah, just 16 years old, and he was doing it when he was making his debut at 15 as well. He's been
Yeah.
doing it. That shows how much the managers have with the national team and Spain. I've seen ever since that he scored this goal 2 days ago. I've been seeing a lot of comparisons. While while they're I want to say they're outlandish, but a lot of people are comparing him to a young Lionel Messi. While I
Mm.
understand a youngster, left-footed at Barcelona, um, but he's going to be absolutely magnificent. Like you said, at just 16 years old, almost 17, I'm not sure what the next youngest player would be that making this type of impact with his club and his country, but he's going to be a star for the future. I think the future of the sport is going to be in good hands with players like him, you know, at the helm and receiving, and keep continuing giving these performances because this Spain team is stacked at every position, and he's 16 years old, getting the starting position over, uh, I guess, veterans more than like at least more seasons than him. But he's absolutely magnificent. Even though I like seeing hype teams die, he's the only one of the only players who I believe like he's going to be good. I want to continue this player to prosper.
Yeah, I'll make the comparison to a Copa America player who's also, I want to say, 17, Endrick. He is what everyone in Brazil was hoping Endrick would be for them. Endrick's been extremely disappointing. Obviously, Brazil is
Exactly.
out
Yeah.
Copa America, but Lamine Yamal. And my only other 2 points on him are there was a picture going around of Lionel Messi holding him as a 6-month-old baby. That was very cool to see because apparently his family won a lottery in Barcelona and he was able to, or Messi was holding him. So there's that extra connection. So I'm glad you brought up Messi there. And I also love the stat that he was playing right wing, right mid. Jesus Navas, who is playing right back, is 38 years old. That's older than Lamine Yamal's dad is. So it's just crazy that that's happening, and it's awesome to see a 16-year-old thriving at the international level and club level, like you said. Moving on to the second semifinal, England and the Netherlands, and again, this one got started pretty quickly. An amazing goal from Xavi Simons. Nothing Jordan Pickford could do about it. Just ripped it. I would say he stole the ball right off the foot of Declan Rice, walked down Kyle Walker, who looked like he didn't want any piece of it, rocketed in. 7 minutes in, dream start for the Dutch. But I want to ask you on this. Harry Kane gets a penalty. VAR checks it wasn't originally given a penalty. VAR checks it, it's given. Do you think that was the right call? Do you think it was a penalty?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because like there's very not even contact, but in such a game, and this ref was kind of the ref and VAR were very suspicious throughout the match because there
Mhm.
are a lot of people complaining about Saka as well later about a pen in their box. Um, but yeah, that wasn't a pen, and it was honestly the turnaround because Netherlands for the most part were playing pretty well. They were England after that pen. The game was pretty even. There's not much action until the very end. But if there wasn't such a questionable call, we're not sure if the Netherlands would have held out in the end, and they could have got the 1-0 win, or in the end, England would have came back either way. But it was a questionable call that changed the momentum of the game because the Dutch players, for the most part, were very wordy with the ref. The rest of the game following that, following the rest of the penalty. Sorry about
Yeah.
that.
No, you're all good. Yeah, I agree with you. I think it was a very fortunate call for England in terms of also after Kane had hit the ball, you could already tell it was going into the 50th row. And then he gets touched, and it was so minimal. I'll take it from an England side of things, but it's one of those things that you don't want to see VAR have that much of an influence in the game. Great penalty by Kane, just got it under the outstretched hand of Verbruggen, but it did. I agree with you. It changed a bit of the momentum. And England, I will say, looked like the best England side we've seen all tournament in this match. It just looked much better going forward, much better defensively at points, still a little suspect here and there, obviously turning it over and giving up a rocket of a goal. Not much you can do about that, but you don't want to turn it over that easy. Then you said nothing too crazy. There were some posts hit. I thought the Netherlands was going to get a goal from one of their corners because every time they had a corner, it seemed like Pickford had to make a drastic save. Or there was one time Dumfries headed it off the crossbar. Phil Foden the other way had a couple shots, hit the outside of the post on one. It was a very entertaining game. A lot of action back and forth, but nothing broke through until substitutions early on or later on in the second half. 81st minute. Cole Palmer comes on for Phil Foden. Surprisingly, because I thought it'd be Ivan Toney, but Ollie Watkins comes on for Harry Kane. Sure enough, 10 minutes later, the 91st minute, Cole Palmer finds it to Ollie Watkins, who had a great turn going inside outside of the defender, going the ball, taking the ball across goal, finding the back of the net to get England the 2-1 victory and send him to the Euro finals. Were you surprised that it was Ollie Watkins and not Ivan Toney that came on?
I was always surprised because obviously Harry Kane's going to be the number one striker for England.
Yeah.
Obviously, Ivan Toney and Ollie Watkins are honestly going to be the best. I always thought this could be a bit of bias as well because I'm an Aston Villa fan, but I always thought, how good of a season Ollie Watkins has in the Prem. He was always going to be the second one and the substitution. I believe this was his first appearance in the Euros, this Euros, and an amazing touch.
Yeah.
Cole Palmer finds him one-on-one with the defender, and then he gives a quick turn, bottom left corner for Brogan, couldn't reach. But amazing.
Yeah.
And I was watching it because I'm like, I'm not much of a. I was watching it obviously, but like no emotional attachment. But once I saw Ollie Watkins come in and score that goal, I've cheered louder than anytime Mexico has played in the Copa America. But Ollie Watkins, yeah, Ivan Toney, but he had the pen. I'm not sure
Mhm.
another much else he did in the
Yeah.
Euros, but Ollie Watkins came on, made a drastic difference really quick.
Oh yeah, and I
And
mean,
yeah,
I
I'm
saw.
happy it's my striker.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
No,
19
I
goals
was
in
gonna
the
say I was happy it's my striker.
yeah, absolutely. 19 goals in the Premier League season this year for Ollie Watkins for Aston Villa. Between him and Emiliano Martinez, it's looking like some stars for Aston Villa at this point. We could see a double trophy presentation of the Euros and the Copa Americas back in Birmingham. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, it was a good finish. Great turnaround by England to get it done, and on to a second consecutive Euro final where we will hop into of Spain, England. We'll start out just general preview. Spain won it last time Spain won it, I want to say it was 2012. They won it in 08 as well. That was part of the Spanish dynasty where they went Euro, World Cup, and Euros. England has been to one final 3 years ago, lost on penalties to Italy, and this gives me a very similar feeling to that final. England makes the final and they have to play the best team throughout the whole tournament. Spain has been the best team. Italy was the best team 3 years ago. What do you think of this match just as a whole? Are you excited for it? Do you think there's any keys or anything at the moment?
I am very excited for it because these are two of, I guess you would call the most where football is the most popular sport and it runs in their veins. At least in Europe, obviously Argentina and Brazil are up there as well. But in Europe, these people live and breathe the sport. And the atmosphere is going to be great. Spain fans have been traveling, English fans have been traveling, and it's just going to be an atmosphere like no other. I'm not sure what stadium they're going to hold it in. I hope
It,
it's going to be
it,
where Dortmund's at because I love that
no,
stadium.
it's at the stadium in Berlin.
Okay, the Olympic one. Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that atmosphere is going to be incredible, and obviously, these two teams, amazing players, amazing rosters. You have young stars in the making: Saka, Kobe Mainu. You have Lamine Yamal, Nico Williams, seem to be carrying the sport in the future. And I just love everything about these two teams because the banter is going to be crazy heading into it. The banter after the match is going to be absolutely wild. I just know the memes are going to be to die for. And at least pre-match, I'm not getting into the match yet, but like everything about the match beforehand is going to be absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's going to be so much fun. The festivities, the build up. Anytime we have the final of any major tournament, it just intensifies the excitement around the whole thing. No matter who you're pulling for or what your ties are. It's just so much fun. But now into a little bit of the actual match. And we'll start on the Spanish side. What do you think are some of your keys, or what does Spain need to do to lift the European trophy?
For Spain, I think they continue being themselves. They've looked like the best team throughout the tournament,
Mm.
and compared to England, um, as we mentioned the past few episodes, England keeps either they either go down first or they need a last minute to pull out the win. I feel like they haven't been in the lead much this tournament, and Spain they've always been consistently in front. I think, as I mentioned last week, the Dutch and the England, they both have they've been going down early and they always come back. And we always mention Spain and such a team as Germany, they're always up first and they're always competing. If we said that if the Dutch or the English team were to face a team that's always starting off strong, they wouldn't win. And Spain again, they were down, but then they came back 2 goals in the first half, quick. They responded quick. England hasn't faced a team where they hasn't
Mhm.
responded, I guess, aggressively. And I think that's what Spain needs to do. They need to be themselves, respond quick. They got down to France, they came back immediately. There's no time wasted. They didn't wait for a last minute winner. Like England, they were playing fine. They continue being themselves, getting these early momentums, continue dominating the pitch like they have almost the entire of the tournament. Compared to England, where, as I mentioned, they always need a last minute stunner in the end. I think that's what Spain needs to do. Continue being themselves, and if they go down or they're up and then the opposing team draws, they respond quick. And I think they need to do that. They just need to be strong, aggressive, and they seem the best mentally. Team in it mentally because they seem to be playing lights out throughout the whole tournament. So they're obviously in a good headspace. While England, as I said, always need a last minute winner. They're always going to be playing in their that mentality is going to be getting them to a bit. So if Spain continues being the strong team, uh, tactically, mentally, coaching, uh, I think they should be able to get it done.
Absolutely. I agree with a lot of what you said, especially the fact of Spain has been getting out early. The only two games that they fell behind, it was against Georgia in the round of 16. That was an own goal 18 minutes in. It took them, what, 20 minutes to respond, 21 minutes technically to respond and get level. Then against France, go down 9 minutes in, 11 minutes or 12 minutes later, it's 1-all. 4 minutes off of that, it's 2-1 Spain. So they've been getting out quickly. And the thing is, that last match, and I think it was very noticeable, no Danny Carvajal, no Robin Lamond or the Nomad. Those were the two who play on the right side. That was the side that Kylian Mbappe was attacking against. Definitely showed some weaknesses there, but those two will be back. And I think if Spain can get out early, use Lamine Yamal, Nico Williams, if Alvaro Morata is playing, because I saw he's day to day, he's got a little knock. If he's playing one of those three, Danny Olmo, throw him in there as well. They can get a goal early. The defense is superb, and they are such experience. Danny Carvajal steps up when he needs to the most. Rodri is a consistent winner. That's the thing that the Spanish team has, is guys who know how to win and have that fire in them. Spain gets out early. I don't see England pulling off a miracle in this one, and I think that's my biggest key is they need to get out strong early. Maybe just make it a very physical and grimy game. That's what the Italians did against England 3 years ago. There's a clip of, Giorgio Chiellini yanking down Bukayo Saka because he knew that it wasn't going to be a red card, knew it was going to stop a goal scoring opportunity. And it's just that mindset and that mentality that you also brought up. So I think that's a big key for Spain. Looking at it on the other side, I think England has a lot more that they need to adjust. Southgate's finally getting some substitutions correct. Finally looks like the roster's getting fixed a bit. It changed significantly when they went from four in the back to three in the back. I need to see some midfield dominance. I need to see Declan Rice for England to win. He needs to step up in his position because obviously he gave the ball away, gave up the goal for against the Netherlands. Kobe Mainu has been superb. For a 19-year-old, he has been just incredible. But I need those two. And then my biggest question and my biggest X factor almost for England to win, who's going to be playing that left mid? Is it going to be Kieran Trippier again? Because I am honestly terrified of Lamine Yamal running at Kieran Trippier for 90 minutes or however long they're in there? Is it going to be Luke Shaw? Is it going to be Trent Alexander Arnold, who lost his starting position after the first two matches of the tournament for England? It's going to be who fits in those places. Are we going to see Bukayo Saka step up again? Jude Bellingham, Phil Foden, still non-existent this tournament outside of a bicycle kick for Jude and then a headed goal in the first game, which seems so long ago. But those two need to step up as well in that midfield. That's my big key is they need to dominate that. Because if you don't dominate the midfield against a team like Spain, who has a super strong midfield and upper and back attack kind of thing, it's they will just pass the ball around and make it living hell for you, like we saw against France in the second half. They just keep the ball away, and you can't score if you don't have the ball.
Yeah, that's what I was concerned about because like that's what I was while watching and thinking about the matches for the rest of the Euros. Declan average, Jude pretty non-existent, and that's what I'm thinking. Like they need the defense has been fine. Attack has been quite uh questionable at times as well. But you just need someone to hold it down. I We all heard the praise that you know Declan was getting when he went to Arsenal. Kobe Mainoo obviously doing a good job, but you just need someone to hold it down. I'm not sure, like you said, Southgate seems to making substitutions. I maybe behind the scenes tactically they're doing everything fine now. We just need to see it, and hopefully we've been saying like, oh, once they if they get further, they're gonna be figuring things out. Sometimes it seems like Southgate is figuring it and not the day of like during the match. And I feel a bit sorry because it seems like if he wins, Southgate's going to be the manager for 2026 in the World Cup. I'm not sure if you would be opposed to that even after winning the Euros, but they need someone in the midfield. Hopefully Declan gets it. Hopefully Kobe Mainu. Um, Again, substitutions. Harry Kane has been all right. Ivan Tony, Ollie, yeah, he had the winner, but you need someone because he can be the consistent threat. Phil Foden, he seemed to be playing good. He was dribbling around defenders. Like you said, he hit the post, but you just need someone to step up. Midfield, up front. Defense has been fine, but you need someone to step up. It doesn't matter if you have Jude, who's your star boy of the team. It doesn't matter if you have, veteran leaders like Harry Kane. You just need someone to step up, and I think that's what they need because when they go down, like I said, they wait until the very last minute until to reclaim that. It's like they're waiting for a glimpse of something to happen, but they need someone to step up for the full 90. Even if they go down or if they're up ahead, they need someone to step up for them. They need that leadership, and it seems like no one on that team has it. I'm not sure if Southgate's putting them all down and somehow it's affecting the players, or none of these players, are meant for the bright lights. But they need someone to step up, and once they have that veteran leadership going through, I think, and they have the veteran leadership that leads to the what's it called, the team connection, the connection between the
Team
team,
chemistry,
and then they'll
yes.
start getting things going.
Yeah, yeah.
There you go. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I'm completely with you on all that. It seems like the England needs someone to step up. We know Lamine Yamal is going to step up. We know Danny Olmo is going to step up. Who on England is going to be like, okay, I'm going to win this game for us today? Not by doing too much, but by doing the right things, being in the right positions, doing the right moves, right plays, right passes. Someone has to step up and be like, I am going to win this. We are going to win this. Just has to be that confidence because, hey, we're coming up on 60 years since England last won anything. So, long time of misery. And we'll see. Maybe it turns around. We will get into our predictions now. Jason, what do you think happens? Who do you think wins? Who is being the champion of Europe?
My prediction, and as we said a couple rounds ago, it was either going to be between Germany and Spain, and I still see Spain winning. As I mentioned, their mentality's high. They've been playing great. The youngsters are showing up. The veterans are showing up, and I think they should be able to win this game pretty comfortably. I see this being a 2-0 win. I see a goal from anybody. I see it from Nico Williams, and I do see another Lamine Yamal assist in this tournament. Like we said, as I said, their mentality is high. They've nothing to worry about. The moment they go down, they'll find a way to get back. They're not waiting until the very last minute to go to wait for a, an answer from God and hope something happened. They seem to be playing well. Rodri, as you mentioned, holding down the midfield. The defense, Laporte, and now with Lenormand coming back, the back two center backs should be lights out. Unai Simmons, great keeper for Athletic, and he's doing it here with the country. And he was the starting keeper for the Nations League. He played amazing in the final last year. So the team seems to be clicking. They have the momentum. That's what I wrote for my preview. They won the Nations League. They had the momentum going in, and it seems like it's working. And I think that's where Spain is gonna win. They have everything clicking for them. While England, on the other hand, it's like two steps forward, one steps back, and like things are working out, but then there's always something happening at the very end. And I think that's why Spain wins 2-0. Nico Williams a goal, Lamine Yamal assist, and I'm gonna see another goal from Rodri, if anything.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Spain is just the better team. I would love to see England win, but it just doesn't feel like it's coming home. I think Spain's far too good, just every aspect. Defensively, they will lock down. I think they do score early. I think England does get one, but I think it'll be one of those that it's almost like a consolation goal when Spain goes up 2-0. Or other way around. It's England ties it up and Spain comes out in the second half. And that's something that was very noticeable against the Netherlands. England looked great attackingly in the first half. Go to halftime. I don't know what was said, but they came out looking completely different, looked extremely flat. And if you do that against the Spanish side, even if you're level at the break, they will make the adjustments and will come out firing right away. So I think Spain lifts it. I think Spain gets it done 2-1, whether it's regular. I think it'll be in 90 minutes. I don't think we'll get stoppage time or extra time, I guess, here. So there we have it. Jason, any final thoughts on this European Championship final before we wrap it up?
Last thought. Lamine Yamal, as you mentioned, 16 years old, and you mentioned who's going to be on the left side. If it's Luke Shaw or somebody else. Lamine Yamal is just 16 years old. It doesn't matter, and at least in this year, it doesn't matter. He was getting by past defenders, world-class defenders, if anything, and he was playing lights out. So while it does matter who you put on the left side, it looks like Lamine Yamal will have no issue, and he's getting his way or fighting for it and finding a way through. Because, like we mentioned, this almost 17-year-old is just amazing and the future of the sport, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Nothing else I can really say. Come on, England. Come on, Spain. We'll see what happens. I'm eating no paellas Sunday. Very excited. Euros 2024 Championship coming to you Sunday afternoon, 3 o'clock Eastern Time. Make sure you tune in. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.